Welcome to a 2v2 on Ettelbruck Station. This game is Faurix and Antilles950 versus Metalon and Tom. We've got Recon, Infantry, Airborne, Rifle, Airborne, Infantry versus Elite Troops. Don't know what this is. Fortified Armor and Festung. And Scavenge has already been chosen. A little bit early to choose Scavenge. Your odds of actually salvaging anything this early in the game don't seem that great to me. I think. Yeah, I don't think that there are any wrecks on this map that you can exploit. Salvage as soon as the game begins. And apparently he wired that off. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. It's kind of a neat little tip. Wiring that off makes more sense. And I guess that completely protects this fuel point, although honestly it's quite difficult to harass the fuel over here anyway. And that'll be a nice safeguard. Delays the capture of that munitions a little, but nothing too serious. Since they're up against WS forces, they're going to need to field some pretty meaty anti-infantry early on. Kuba wagon probably a good choice, but on this map maybe not so much. It's kind of hard to flush riflemen out of buildings with a Kuba wagon, but then again their options are pretty limited this early in the game. Trying to utilize suppression is definitely a smart thing to do, but at the same time positioning is so important. If they make it into these critical buildings, there's not a whole lot you can do to force them out, and they will be able to buy a lot of time where they have pretty much all the critical points, and we can already see that they're going to have triple cap to their opponent only 3 minutes into the game and force retreats on all fronts as far as I can tell. Stern Pioneers might have a little traction here in the south against those rear echelon troops, but it'll just be a matter of time before those riflemen leave those buildings and force another retreat there. Rear echelons grab that strategic point, and these two rifle squads make their way down as well. Oh no! Why didn't he rifle grenade? He reacted so slow to that Kuba wagon being way out of position. Now it's too late. Machine guns setting up, trying to pin him down. Lots of infantry available to support. Got greedy there going for that building. Notice that this building's only door is on the southwest side. Actually, apparently that's not even true. Okay, well, there is a door on the northeast side, but the building's bugged. The units apparently cannot even enter right there. Uh-oh. So you need to be mindful of that when entering that building.
Forces are securing our territory.
Folks Grenadiers in the building force yet another retreat from the riflemen, and even though they're rounding up the squads, forcing retreats back to the US base. Just look at all the pressure, they just keep coming. Every single retreat they force, two more rifle squads coming from a different direction, and they are forced to keep on moving the MG, repositioning, trying to keep these forces at bay. There's just so many riflemen. Mortar making its way to the front line. Hopefully it'll be able to soften up some infantry formations and, of course, help to secure building control. But they need to get the map back. They really do. US forces are bringing it hard here in the early minutes of the game. And Metalon and Tom really struggling to get the map under their control. Now we've got infantry and rifle company, which is such a deadly combination. Rifle company for that early game vet rifleman power. They have flamethrowers for the buildings. They've got white phosphors later and easy 8s, just really solid. And then infantry for the really powerful mid/late game with the LMGs and the priest. It's a really deadly combination. Meanwhile, Metalon hasn't chosen yet. Probably a little early to be going for elite troops, and the other two are just, I don't even know. I guess the LEFH could be kind of okay on this map. The Elephant would probably not be very good. There are some avenues of approach where it excels, such as along this road, and in the center, generally. Setting up right there can be okay. But as a general rule, these this map is quite tight, and battle tanks, main battle tanks, are a lot better than assault guns or tank destroyers. But not always. You can definitely make good use of units like that on these long roads. If your opponent is kind enough to engage you upon them. There's not a whole lot of flanking routes on this map either, because of how cluttered it is. M20 catches this Kuba wagon. And that's the very first vehicle they're going to have to contend with. Panzerschreck is available, but it's obviously not enough to keep it alive. Infantry support gun has been fielded and is firing. In addition to the mortar, that should definitely help things. That M20 is easily going to make it to safety, however, and the Kuba wagon has been destroyed. And Antilles has gone Captain Tier rather than Lieutenant Tier, which makes sense for Rifle Company. Honestly, Captain Tier makes a lot of sense for Infantry Company as well. They both need an AT gun. Neither of them has a doctrinal AT gun the way Airborne does.
Stores advises light MGs now on the line.
Full squad of Grenadiers gets wiped in the building, and the Axis continue to struggle to break their containment. Ooh, that'll help though. Wasn't expecting that infantry support gun to take him out so quick.
They got wiped out. Rifle squad ready for action. Find cover!
Mortar is forced to retreat by sustained fire from those infantry squads. The infantry support gun is completely missing all of its shots, but Stern Pioneers succeed where it fails. And we'll get that territory under control, but they continue to be triple capped and they're running out of time. They gotta make something happen here. Only 250 points now remain. They have yet to deal with the M20.
Good to go. Lousy patch and
And who knows what Antilles has on the way. Still pretty low in command points, so Easy 8s are not a threat yet. It's only 8 minutes into the game and half the victory points are gone. The Axis need to make something happen here. They just need one victory point. Just slow the bleed. Just do something. Anything. Grenadiers trying to take this victory point, but it's not going to happen. Riflemen with flamethrower are going to easily force a retreat here. What was that noise? The ambulance just died. Oh, nice usage of the Raketenwerfer. Caught that ambulance, I guess. Had to move up into the arc of fire of this machine gun to do so, but it's a nice pickup. Definitely helps. Now that it's suppressed, it's very slow to fire. Has to pull back a little bit. MG42 in the house will suppress those riflemen. Raketenwerfer should be able to get back to safety. The M20 is moving to engage terms. I'm not sure what they're even doing back here. And there they go, forced to retreat. As predicted, this engagement did not go in the Grenadiers' favor. Riflemen moving up, but they didn't take control of this victory point, and the center one has been taken as well, so the clock has actually been stopped, giving the Axis much needed time.
The enemy is taking our territory.
That squad will retreat.
Get ready. Crowd's taking pot shots at us.
And that MG42 needs to get out of there. It's sticking around way too long. I guess it's just gonna let it die.
We have lost an MG.
Against this much stuff, it stood no chance. It really needed support. LMGs have been upgraded on these rifle squads, and Metalon has gone elite troops. So I guess he's going to be utilizing some of his doctrinal features besides the Tiger Ace. Otherwise he could have held off on his decision until 15. Squad wipes all over the map. It is not looking good for the Axis here.
There's a major reporting for action. Fire! That's it, fellas. Knock their fucking block off. Germans have 200 points left. Fire at will! Crowd's giving us some trouble here!
They really are clumping hard. They're just asking to get nailed by that infantry support gun. They're so lucky that all of its shots are missing. Now they're spread out and they should be fine. Anti-tank weapons finally take out the 20. And one squad of riflemen is forced to retreat and the rest will follow suit. I guess they're satisfied with this push. Don't really see what more they can accomplish here and they're just gonna get out of there. Infantry support gun is performing horribly, even worse than we normally expect it to. Only 5 kills, shooting at a clumped blob and inflicts 0 damage. It's just doing awful. Not sure these riflemen are going to be able to take this fuel. Nope, they're just kind of... Oh, they can vault this though. They can vault that, and they should.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
50 cal's been fielded, inflicting heavy damage to those Sturms. They retreat with no losses, fortunately. Stun grenade going into the building does a little damage to the 50 cal. Another one from the north, and the infantry support gun actually finishes it off, I think. Or not. Nope, didn't get any of the kills, but I'm pretty sure it did some damage. Either way, the 50 cal is killed. And the Axis continue their push, but they're rapidly running out of time. Only 150 points now remain. They've secured the center, but the north is falling to riflemen again. Now we're going to see a tier 4 fielded hastily here in the center before a counterattack can arrive, trying to buy time in the south with these squads of infantry. Once the American blob makes its way back to the front line, they'll be forced to contend with a tier 4 structure unless this rifle squad on the flank can destroy it. I don't know if he made it here in time, though. He's inflicting a lot of damage to it. They need to get this out of here. There's a Grenadier squad in the building, but it's not moving. Have they even noticed that this is happening? Oh no! Tom, why? And his tier 4 structure is killed. The timing was perfect to stop this blob, but one flanking squad of riflemen takes it out. Narrowly so. Honestly, that could very well seal the game for the Allies. Because a loss like that isn't one that the Axis can afford right now. It's going to be up to Metalon's Ostfit to completely turn the game around. Catches these squads very clumped and they all retreat without spreading out. He could get a lot of kills here. He's already up to 6 after his very first initial bursts. Keeps racking them up. 7 kills now. Nothing to defend the retreat path. No M20 mines have been planted. Nothing at all. It's driving straight into the U.S. forces base. There is a captain there, but not much else. If he can take out these LMG squads, it'll be a big win for him. Rear echelon's down. 1 LMG squad down. He's firing at max range. He's very hesitant to overcommit here. Does not want to lose this Ostwind as it is their only hope. I don't know what that Scott is doing. Okay, it's dead. And he will utilize Panzer Tactician to try to get that Ostwind to safety. As long as the captain doesn't get any miracle hits with his bazookas, it should get away. There it goes. Huge play, 17 kills. That's probably going to be the biggest impact that Ostwind will have this game. Made a very dramatic entrance, and as long as his teammate can help him capitalize on that, this game may yet be salvaged. Maybe. But once the Allies field a proper solution to that Ostwind, it's not going to be nearly as big of a problem as it just was.
Someone get us out of here!
Is that Jackson really going to be brave enough to dive all the way into the Axis base?
Anti-tank gun, ready for action.
Looks like it. Here he goes.
There they are! Cover the flank!
It's like, where is that damn thing? Wasn't brave enough to peek all the way into the base. If he had been, that was a dead Ostwind. It's too bad. Too bad he didn't go for it.
My squad's ready. We're taking lead over here.
Grenadiers moving to engage. The riflemen here. And they will force that squad to retreat. Yet more LMGs have been fielded on the left. Uh-oh. Ooh, nice rifle grenade. Forces a retreat from that squad as well. G43 is in the building, contending with this rifle squad as well as a major over here. Looks like they'll be okay though. Support is arriving from Jaegers as well. Americans kind of struggling at this point. The Axis continue to slowly turn things around. Ooh, infiltration grenades! They're gonna wipe that squad if it doesn't retreat. What is it waiting for?
We just lost a unit.
Another LMG squad down the drain. These are losses that he is rapidly going to not be able to afford. Speaking of losses you can't afford, another tier 4 structure going up over here on the right side. Looks like this one is actually going to complete. And when it does, it's going to be that much harder for the Allies to take control of the center victory point. Oh ho ho! Wow. This is why I'm hesitant to call the game in anybody's favor. That was painful. Painful to watch. Captain catches mines going down. Snipes with an M1 Garand shot and then a bazooka shot. That captain does not need a sniper rifle to get one shot, one kill. Ostwind has been repaired, making its way to engage the captain, and it immediately retreats. I don't know if that was necessarily the right call, but fortunately they take a split retreat path, which means the Ostwind has to choose which to engage. It's retreating through that tier 4 structure. Ostwind nails him. Oh man. Barely gets away by a hair. There is a Jackson here available to assist in engagements, but it just took a shot at infantry. Doesn't have prioritized vehicles on, so he's rotating his turret in an unfavorable fashion, continuing to fire at infantry. Well, what happened here? An American AT gun just got stolen. I'm not sure when that happened. I must have missed that engagement. But that will definitely help the Axis a lot against what they're up against. Metalon has fielded himself a Stug. Doesn't feel the need for Panzer IV since he already has an Ostwind. Going to go with the more specialist vehicles here. Ostwind and Stug. Slightly more economical than 2 Panzer IVs, but obviously a lot less versatile. He's setting it up in a good location here in the middle where it can take full advantage of its... well, it doesn't really have that good range, but it can take... He can negate the fact that it has no turret by engaging here in this more open area. He wants to go in on the Scott. Gets a shot off. It connects. Looks like he might go in here, but I don't think this is a good idea. There's so much waiting around this corner. Oh, he picks up the Scott and takes nothing in return. Meanwhile, an AT gun has been cleared here by the Ostwind and is being salvaged by those Jaeger light infantry. Riflemen rounding the corner in a lot of danger from the Ostwind, but they're well spread. Captain Bazooka connects nicely. They're taking heavy damage. The Jackson is trying to scare it away. Smoke gets popped. He needs to utilize attack ground to seal the deal. And a full squad of riflemen does get wiped there. Jackson is going in. That's a dead Ostwind. Panzerfaust, however, does connect, damaging its engine. And the Stug plus Raketenwerfer plus 2nd Panzerfaust will be more than enough to take that Jackson out from the blue. White Phosphorus is going to land in this area, although I'm not sure what that was. I'm not sure what that was intended.
Tank support is here. The supply line just got cut off.
Oh my god. That is the tightest clump of riflemen I've ever seen. Spread out. Well, there's one Scot on the field and one EZ-8. American vehicle and infantry force is now looking quite thin. I'm surprised we don't see a priest yet. They really need one. Oh no. Stolen American AT gun takes out the Scot, and the Tiger Ace is now on the field, and the Allies have little to no counter to this unit. They do get a lucky engine damage hit from a rifle grenade there. All rifle grenades penetrating. It's actually got a damaged engine, and it's down to half health. EZ-8 on its flank. Could we see a big play here? I don't know. That shot bounced, and the EZ-8 is crew shocked. Armor-piercing rounds from the AT gun, however, do pierce. 2 in a row, bringing it so low. So low. And even if they don't destroy it, it's not that big of a deal because the economic drain is huge while it lives. And because of that, it having to pull back and repair is in some ways almost worse than the thing actually dying. Full squad of overs could get wiped. So close. There they go. Wiped squad of overs. And this has been such a lethal game on all sides.
Crowds are taking one of our points.
White phosphorus being dropped on the blob. Overs retreating through the smoke, should be fine. Infantry support gun firing. There's a lot of salvaging opportunities actually. These destroyed AT guns, Scott wrecks, Jackson wreck I think somewhere, the Austrian wreck. Maybe he has been salvaging them, I'm not sure. Nice use of the tier 3 vehicles however by Metalon, I have to say. That Ostwind made it to Vet 2 before being destroyed by the Jackson, and the Stug is still alive, having taken out a Scot and continuing to pose a pretty serious threat to other American vehicles on the field. Tiger Ace now slowly awaiting repairs. It's going to be off the field for quite some time. The Americans definitely wanted to destroy it during that engagement, but the economic drain that it's going to inflict is very meaningful, and it kind of helps negate the Axis late game advantage in a way. Now the longer the game goes, almost the stronger the Americans will be if they can mass vehicles of their own, if they can just try and get 3 EZ-8s, 4 EZ-8s, 3 Scots out, and keep them alive, just preserve them until you have a really meaningful mass of units and your opponent is still operating on basically just one Tiger Ace because his economy is so drained. Then you can really start to pull ahead later in the game. Infantry support gun is getting some decent hits on this clump, putting those majors right next to each other. Ooh, probably a risky move. You really need to screen that thing away. Sort of difficult with the tier 4 structure where it is though. Tiger Ace has been fully repaired after several minutes and is making its way back to the front line. Almost immediately exposes its rear armor to a vetted rifleman squad. Oh, they don't notice though. What are they doing? And there they go. They are retreating. Mines getting planted here in the north. Meanwhile, EZ-8 is trying to engage the tier 4 structure in the south, taking shots at range and missing. And it will get pushed away by the Stug and Rakettenwerfer here. If not completely destroyed. Run! Oh, and there it goes! Stug racks up another kill. Jackson moving up on the flank of the Tiger Ace. Stands no chance. Definitely cannot hope to engage that thing at close range, although it does land 2 shots. Lands 2 shots, bringing it down to about 3/4. Third shot misses. Target weak point will stun it, and he's going to move up and secure the kill now. Captain moving up into this building to try and inflict a little bit more damage. All these infantry, though. Tiger Ace finally makes the impact it wanted to make when it hit the field. Okay. These infantry are not even moving away. What are they doing? It's a live game, so I can't see the chat. I kind of get the sense that maybe Antilles has kind of given up a little bit. He didn't even move his infantry away from that. which is a shame because it got forced off the field again by his teammate. They're going to have to slowly repair it, and the economic drain will continue. If he hadn't thrown away his whole army, I don't know, who knows? They might have been able to turn this around. I mean, they have such an early victory point lead. It's only just now pulling even. If they had just continued to harass and bleed victory points, continued to try to lengthen the game and wipe full squads of Scots in range, I think that this was anybody's game. Tiger Ace has been repaired once again. Look at Metalon's resources. He's only got 3 fuel coming in, 128 manpower. If we take a look at his forces, they're pretty thin. He's only got 3 Grenadier squads, 2 Pile squads, and his Stugie's still alive somehow. So his army's not really anything all that impressive. His teammate, on the other hand, Tom, actually looking a little thin too, but he's got 1,000 manpower in the bank. I guess he's saving for King Tiger, which is probably going to be on the field soon. That is not an economic drain in the least. That would be a serious threat, and the Allies would do well to try and kill that as soon as possible. But since they can't counter a Tiger Ace, I don't know how they would counter a King Tiger. Scavenger artillery falling here.
Americans down to 100 points.
No stray shells. That one was kind of close. But I think it probably doesn't really matter at this point. The Allies have lost too much Tiger Ace at their front door, and they don't really have the means to counter it. And I think the biggest problem the Allies had this game is they never massed a lot of vehicles. They only ever had 1 vehicle at a time. They never had 2 EZ-8s going up against Tiger Ace. They never had 3 Scots firing at a block of infantry. Which just goes to show what great usage was made of this Stug. Did a really good job with that Stug this game. Taking out 1 Scot and then 1 EZ-8 with that. That's huge. Huge return on investment considering how cheap it is. It's only 80 fuel. A Scot is 75 and an EZ-8 is 145, so yeah. He definitely got his money's worth out of that unit. Man, I'm almost amazed that the Allies let this one slip through their fingers. They had such a strong opening. That's the game. Well, I don't know. I feel like morale was a big part of this game. It's a big part of every game of Company of Heroes if you think about it. It really is. The effect that the Tiger Ace has, not only in-game but out-of-game, is very real. It is very real. Never give up. That's the Company of Heroes 2 way. Well, good game. Axis wins.